Before I get into this one, I want to kind of touch on something from the last game between Columbus and Toronto. I have argued for years that the amount of cross-checking the NHL lets players get away with is out of control. I've been told I'm soft. I've been told that's hockey. I've been told those 2 or 3 cross-checks are fine. It's that fourth one you have to worry about. And that's just how it works. And for years, I have said that's just ridiculous, where you'll see cross-check, 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 and then they go, and it's that fourth one. That's the one. That's the one. He just hit him a little bit harder. If it's against the rules, it's against the rules. And that's an argument I've made. And now that we're into playoff hockey and guys are getting hurt, and we're seeing cross-checks as being part of it, and this game saw injuries too. Now people are like, hey, they should call that. Yes, they should. They don't. So the idea of having some kind of moment now where the NHL Department of Player Safety is going to go, hey, we got to start calling all these, I just don't see it. And it's not me making the argument. It is the NHL and the way that they police this or don't. This is one of those, well, we'll let the players police themselves kind of things. Well, you've got to let the players... It's the same argument for a lot of other parts of the game, right? Like, well, that's against rules. Yeah, but you got to allow them to do that because, they've got to be able to police themselves. So, with that in mind, the Calgary Flames continued to do tonight what they do. They wear teams down if they get the chance. And the Winnipeg Jets, it just... They don't look... Well, they don't look well. And this is not a statement of sarcasm. This is not a statement to dismiss what happened today. This is just the reality of it, which is that the Winnipeg Jets right now, they appear to be on their way to being eliminated. So, early chances for both teams. Bennett missed a great chance. He had an absolutely fantastic opportunity, and he missed there. Wide open play in the first 5 minutes, which I thought favored Winnipeg. I did. The problem was their defense was allowing too many opportunities. So, when we get to the shots, by the time they stopped allowing so many shots, it was already too late. So, Hellebuck was sharp with the Flames leading in shots. The Flames pressed at the 8-minute mark, but we get a fast break the other way. Kulikov with a great pass to Ehlers. Ehlers puts that in. Beaulieu with the secondary assist at 10:04, and it's 1-0 Jets. But the Jets have scored first in every game. They lost game 1, they won game 2, and game 3 goes the other way. So, Perreault takes a penalty. Flames go to the power play. Lindholm on that power play scores from Gustafsson and Monahan at 10:22. So they had a lead for 18 seconds. And right when I saw that, I thought, oh, this is not going to go well. This is one of those games where anytime something good happens for Winnipeg, Calgary's just going to go, nah. Backlund gets a penalty. Jets turn on the power play. Good shorthanded chance for Giordano. Lowry had a chance that was covered, and these teams don't get along. And there were plenty of moments after whistles where these guys were going at each other. And yeah, there was definitely some sniping going on back and forth. Late pressure by the Flames, but Hellebuck saved. And they get out of a period where they allowed 18 shots. It's like, oh, okay, so it's 1-1, but you allowed 18 shots in that first period. Second period, early Morrissey takes a penalty. The Flames go to the power play. Goudreau thought he had a goal, but it was on the pad, beside the pad, between the pads, and it's kept out. I think it was Pullman that helped to keep it out as well. So Pullman then takes a puck to the head for his trouble, bleeding pretty bad. He did return, but I noticed in the third he had a towel and he was still bleeding. So I thought that was interesting in that because he's wearing facial protection, I thought, if he's still bleeding, he's not supposed to be on the ice at all. But if he's protected and if here, just put this on, go out, do your 50-second shift and come back off. So Pullman does stick around, but he's not 100%. Backlund then gets a goal from Mangiapane at 5:37. And it was a goal that had Hellebuck behind the net and a miscommunication with Pionk. And the puck just goes to Mangiapane. He goes, thanks, passes it out to Backlund, and it's in the net. So it's one of those not-so-pretty goals we've seen in those playoffs. Lucic then scored. Maurice challenged it, said, hey, Dylan Dubé was behind my goaltender inside the crease. Can we get a goalie interference? They did a review, and they went, yeah, that's goalie interference. He was in the crease behind the goaltender. Now, Flames fans will say, yes, but Eakin was keeping him there. No. the rule is simple. He could be there, but if he's not making any attempt to get out, if he's sort of like, oh, I've been put in the crease, well, I'm just going to stay right here then, which seemed to be kind of the way he was treating it, then yeah, that's goalie interference. It's not a penalty, but it does mean the goal is no good. So the reality was that then, while that's a success and keeps it 2-1, there's then a dangerous trip by Jensen Harkins. The Flames go to the power play. Monahan's okay, but honestly, a can opener that close to the boards. And this is that thing that we were talking about with Muzzin, right? Where it's like, okay, so there's that play and its dangerousness near the boards. It happens all the time. It happens in every game. Harkins, honestly, if Monahan hits the boards in a different manner, we see Monahan being dragged off the ice on a stretcher. So it's been a bad day. Let's just put it that way. It's been a bad day for fans of Canadian teams. All the momentum, though, is with Calgary. So they get a power play, and they score on it. Monahan from Gaudreau and Tkachuk at 7:49. So the best way to get back at a team for this is to score. Lucic then goes in the box. Jets needed power play, and 20 seconds after it became 3-1, it was 3-2. Andrew Kopp, with his second goal of the series, scores from Wheeler and Pionk at 8:09. So Pionk kind of makes up for that goal that he was a part of earlier, but the Jets are still chasing the game. And it still feels like this is Calgary's game. And it felt like, too, the Jets' defense needed to stay up, and they needed to play better, and they seemed to be better until Tkachuk scores from Mangiapane and Backlund at 12:48. Just any opportunity Calgary got, it went in the net. Any small opportunity that Calgary got, it was guaranteed to be a goal against Winnipeg today. So Perreault got injured as well during the second period along the boards by Bennett. And the Jets are losing the war of attrition here. And I guess while Perreault was down, and I didn't hear it, but apparently there were Flames basically saying that because Perreault had been diving in their eyes, that, well, that's what happens. Right? So, again, for Calgary, This is a war of attrition. They're winning it, and Matthew Perreault out, that hurts the Jets as well, because everything hurts the Jets right now. So we go into the third period. Ehlers gets an early chance. Morrissey's been dinged up as well. So in the third period, it's clear Morrissey's not 100%. So if you lose Morrissey, and Pullman got his bell rung with a puck to the face, ear, in around this area, wherever it was, it hit him, and it's just it is added to Scheifele and Line, and yeah. All right, Lucic would then score while DeMello's in the box as the Jets continued to have trouble with their penalty kill. Their penalty kill just did not play well. Lucic gets the goal to make up for the one that he lost from Dubé and Giordano at 8:28. And then Forbert ends up taking a puck to the face. It went underneath his visor, cut him, and it was friendly fire. I believe it was Talbot hit him with it, not realizing where he was, right? So Forbert left for repairs. I didn't see whether or not he came back. I assume he did. He probably just needed a couple of stitches, or 20 stitches, or 40, depends where the puck hit him and what kind of cut it was. They pulled the goalie with 4+ minutes left, but the Jets really never looked like they were generating that opportunity. They looked done. And then Johnny Gaudreau hits the empty net from Monahan at 17:41 to make the score 6-2. So this was much like game one. This was a game that Calgary used to make a statement. And it feels like that statement is one that Winnipeg's kind of done right now. So first period, the shots were 18-13 for Calgary. There were 12-10 Winnipeg in the second. In the third, Winnipeg played well enough. Just they allowed the goal to Lucic. They outshot Calgary 10-4. It's just 2 of those 4 shots ended up in their net, one of them being an empty netter. So they only allowed 3 outside of the empty netter. Final shots 35-32 in favor of Winnipeg. The hits were 26-21 in favor of Winnipeg. Power plays, Calgary goes 3 for 4. The power play was the big storyline in game 1. Came up flat yesterday in game 2. It's back with a vengeance today in game 3. And Winnipeg only had 2 opportunities. They scored on the one. Talbot saved 33 out of 35. Hellebuck saved 26 out of 31. And he didn't look that sharp. He looked okay early, but he didn't look that sharp overall. I'm not sure if it was a miscommunication with defensemen going on, or if it was just Calgary knowing exactly where to shoot and exactly how to get him out of position. But I thought Hellebuck didn't look that great, and Talbot looked pretty darn solid. So Winnipeg is one game away from being in the draft lottery, which they would have won if we'd gone with standard rules. And so we may see Rangers, Florida, Winnipeg. Let me know which of those teams you think should get Lafreniere. I think I know the answer to that. Anyways, there you go. Not a fun game if you're a Jets fan. I felt horrible about this game because, of course, my wife's a huge Jets fan, and as soon as it was 4-2, I was like, okay, so it's done. And I was upset for her because I kept watching Jets get hurt, and she kept yelling downstairs, "We're not going to have anybody left." So, and I didn't know a way to argue that she was wrong on that. It feels like the Jets, and even, the gallows humor from the Jets has been, well, we can tell that we're back at it and we're comfortable because guys are getting hurt. So this is how things worked for the Jets during the regular season, and here we are, we're back again in the postseason. So hopefully the walking wounded, as many of them can be back in the lineup as possible for Game 4, but Game 4 may very well be the end of it. But we'll see. And that's the late game on Thursday. I'll be doing the Thursday preview tomorrow morning. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of this game in the comment section below. I do expect people to be arguing that certain guys should get suspended for certain actions. And we're seeing it a lot. And honestly, very few guys get suspended. And a lot of the injuries we see, a lot of the issues we see, the game's played harder right now than it is during regular season games. And they let more go. And so we can have a discussion at some point about the cultural aspect of hockey and all of that wonderful stuff. The only caveat I throw in there is that sometimes I see the same people making comments about how awful this is that a player on their team got hurt. And then if it's a player on the other team, they'll go, well, that's just good hockey. And it wasn't really his fault. We need to have that discussion 100% down the middle and just say, okay, this is suspendable, this is not, this is. And again, the NHL's been willing to change rules and make changes, but they've already said they're not going to try to get rid of all head contact, that they can't. So that's an example, one thing that we've heard the debate on where the NHL's already said, yeah, we're not doing that. So very possibly the changes you may want to see to lessen the likelihood of injuries, like the ones that took place in this game, the one that took place at the end of the game with the Maple Leafs and the Blue Jackets, the NHL may not have any desire to make those changes because they may say, you know what, that's just playoff hockey. It's unfortunate. We don't want guys to get hurt, but it's playoff hockey and these things happen. I'm the messenger. If I was commissioner, things would probably be different. And people would complain about me and want me fired within about 3 hours. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts, like I said, in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And for the Flames, they're one game away from moving on to round 1, the official round 1, past the play-in round. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.